So I got this comment this week asking me for a bass mixing video for my band song Grave. So let's check out the song real quick. And you know, I thought this is a really easy video to do. There's just a few things to look at and we can run through it real quick. So let's jump into the video. First off, when we're talking about tones, I don't consider tones to be just what plugin you used or what amp you used. It's more than that. It's about what gear you used, how you played it. So I wanted to run through a couple things real quick. First, the bass we used is my Fender Jazz Bass Deluxe. It's really been gone through from top to bottom and redone. The entire paint was stripped off and we just stained it. The neck got replaced with a USA neck. All the electronics got replaced with a dark glass tone capsule, and I dropped a Bartolini and a Seymour Duncan quarter pounder pickup in it. When you think jazz bass, this isn't exactly a stock jazz bass. It's very one-off. And then beyond the bass, I really do think pick choice matters a lot. I always use yellow Tortex. This is actually a Dunlop Flow, nice and worn in. No 1mm picks here. We're not using thick picks. We're not using too thin of a pick. Something that you can really dig in with, and when you hit it really hard, isn't knocking it sharp. For this song, I did what I typically do, which is running the bass DI and a dark glass parallel to it. Those get edited together, and then I reamped the bass through a guitar amp for this album. I felt like it gave it a little more glue with the guitars, and also just a really cool tone, and I ended up leaning really heavily on the guitar tone for the tone of the bass. I used my Mesa Dual Rec with not too much gain, really gave it a really cool character. And like I said, that's what we really leaned on in the mix. So let's jump into Pro Tools and take a look. I have this split into 3 tracks. It's very common for me to split bass into multiple tracks, 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4 if I'm really looking for extra effects or maybe something to add on top. I have it split into B3, which is just a low end, B Grind, which is my mixed down version of the Dark Glass, and the Mesa track. I would have been running the Dark Glass into a DBX 163X, so that's why when you look at these tracks, it's really compressed. So let's listen in the session to what the bass sounds like. And let's listen soloed out. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool tone. I don't think it's overly distorted. When we open up the Dark Glass track, you'll see it is distorted, but it's not too much. It sounds like a bass. It's cool. Low end by itself, I mean, nice and fat. First step, find the low end, high pass and low pass. 1176, more compression once you get that low end rocking. Let's lock it in. This looks like it's just a volume boost. Dark Glass track. So here it is before my EQ. So for this, I don't want any of the low end. I'm getting that from the low track. I felt like it went a little too high, so I cut a little bit of it out. And a little 2.5K dip. Yeah, it's a little too rattly up top possibly, so, you know, cut it down a little bit. And then the Mesa, let's go no plugins. I mean, right out of the gate, it sounds awesome. I did CQ, was really into this plugin at the time. Big low boost. Like I said, I leaned really heavily on this tone, so I guess I was thinking I really wanted a lot of that low end, but you'll see here, we're cutting a lot of it out now. You know, controlling the low end, 104, we're not cutting all of the low end. We're not cutting all the weight. We're cutting the subs because we're getting the subs, again, from this track. But we're getting a little more from this, and then a little bit of compression. The low end and the dark glass got compressed. This would have been reamped with the DI, not compressed. So we'll do a little compression here. And together, this is what it sounds like. It's not overdone. You don't have a ton of tracks. You don't have a ton of plugins, just short and to the point. That was a big goal with this album. I didn't do drum samples on it. We did all straight into guitar amps. So I felt like we would be doing the album a disservice if we did too much on the bass. So, I mean, that's really all there is to it. If you have any comments or questions, shoot them down in the comments below. Of course, like and subscribe if you like this stuff. I plan on really diversifying the stuff that I'm doing on YouTube this year. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.